Welcome to the YouTube channel Just Information. I hope you all are fine. Today we will learn class 8th chapter Sets and Relations, and this is part 1. This is very new chapter for us, so we will learn in detail. Let's start. So, sets and relations. In some parts we will learn the whole topic about sets, and then at last we will move towards the relations. So in some parts we will start sets. There are some contents that we will learn in sets. First, introduction, then definition of a set, representation of a set, types of sets, subset, superset, proper set, properties of subsets, the number of subsets of a set, Venn diagram, power set, comparison of sets, operation on sets, disjoint sets, pairwise disjoint sets, difference of sets, complement of a set, laws of algebra of sets, relationship among the cardinal numbers, and then after that we will learn about relations, that is first introduction, then Cartesian product of two sets, then cardinal number of A x b, definition of relation, rule of the relation, domain and range of the relation, describing a relation, inverse relation, types of relations, previous competitive examinations questions. So in sets, let's start. First, we can readily classify some items, some articles into three distinct groups. We can say that each of them groups can be well defined and distinct objects, or in a short set, or not well defined. First of all, we will learn the history of sets. The theory of sets was developed by a German mathematician George Cantor from 1845 to 1918 AD. The word set was first of all used by George Cantor. The concept of sets is widely used in foundation of relations, George Cantor, functions, logic, probability theory, etc. In day-to-day life, we very often use the word collections or aggregates of objects of some kinds. Cantor used the word set for a collection or aggregate of objects of any kind. According to Cantor, a set is any collection into a whole of definite and distinct objects of our intuition or thought. By the objects being distinct, Cantor means that no object should be repeated in the collection, and by the objects being definite, he meant that given an object, we must be able to decide whether that object belongs to the collection or not. By the term collection into a whole, he meant that the objects should have certain properties. But Cantor's definition of set was not acceptable to some mathematicians, as there may be collections of objects such that objects of the collection do not satisfy some common properties. Following is the widely acceptable definition of set in which the two terms definite and collection into a whole into a single term distinguishable. Now, sets. The meaning of sets is that A set is a collection of well-defined and distinct objects. A set is a collection of well-defined and distinct object. The word distinct means that the objects must be all different. Objects of the set must not repeat. The objects of a set are called elements. The object of a set are called elements. First of all, what do you mean about well-defined objects? What is well-defined object? Well-defined objects. So, the word well-defined means that defined object is accepted by everyone in the nature. If there is a class full of students and a teacher, full of students with one teacher teaching, what can you observe is first point group of children and second point is group of students. So, what do you think, which of the 2 points are well defined? So, the answer is group of students is well defined because such a collection of group of well defined objects, students, form a set. Second point is let B, capital B is equal to set of all vowels in English alphabets. Then B is equal to A, E, B is equal to in bracket A, E, I, O, U, bracket close. Every set is written in 2 curly brackets with a capital alphabet equals. Here elements of B are distinguishable as well as distinct. Therefore, B is a well-defined set. Hence, B forms a set. Next topic is not well-defined set. Not well-defined objects. What are not well-defined objects? So there are some examples to make the idea clear. First example is, consider a collection of interesting books in a library. If some students are asked to prepare a list of interesting books in a library separately, you will find that the lists would differ. A book may be interesting to one but not to other. Thus, we are not definite as to which books are there in our collection. So, the collection of interesting books in a library is not well defined. Hence, this collection is not a set. Second example is, now consider the collection of young cricket players of the twin cities. Since there is no specified age for young, therefore this collection cannot be well defined. Third, consider the rich people of Hyderabad. There is no specified definition to be rich. Therefore, this collection is not well defined. Fourth example is, the collection of good cricket players of India is not a set, since the term good players is not well defined. Now, we will solve some questions based. So first question is, we have to see whether some of the examples are set or not. So I will say the questions and write the answers over here. First is, all students of a class. Is this statement an well defined or not? So all students of a class. So yes, in a class there are students and it is specific, so yes, this is a well defined set. Second, all persons on earth. All persons, animals on earth. So yes, everyone is person in human being. It is a well defined set. Third is, all difficult problems in maths textbook. So no, this is not a well defined set, because in a maths textbook every problem is not difficult, only some are there. Fourth is, all healthy persons of Hyderabad. So no, it is not a well defined set, because in Hyderabad some persons can be healthy but not all of them are healthy. Fifth is, all dishonest shopkeepers of twin cities. So no, this is not a well defined set, because some can be dishonest but every shopkeeper cannot be dishonest. Sixth is, all teachers in a school. So yes, it is a well defined set. In a school there are teachers, every teacher. Yes, it is a well defined set. Seventh is, all musical instruments. So yes, it can be a well defined set. Eighth is, all tasty fruits. So no, it is not a well defined set, because every fruit cannot be tasty. Some fruits are not tasty. Ninth is, all clever persons of twin cities. All clever persons of twin cities. So no, this is not a well defined set, because every person is not clever. Some of them are clever and intelligent. 10th and the last one is, all good schools of twin cities. So no, this is also not a well defined set, because some teachers are good. Some schools are good but not every school is good and perfect. I hope you've understood everything till this. In part 2 of the chapter sets and relations, our topic is sets. We will learn representation of a set, some rules. First point, that is roster form or tabular form. Then some questions on based. Next form is set builder form or rule method. Then some questions based. Then we will learn types of sets. There are various types of sets. We will learn them by solving the questions after learning. I hope you have understood this till that. For any queries and doubt, please join the Telegram link given in the description of this video. Thank you for watching.